Hello everybody, Claire Fluffle here, and... Hello! Do not be afraid, there is nothing wrong with your device. That I know of. This is merely a premonition of things to come. A warning that, should you continue to watch this video, see a glitch and decide that you want to try it for yourself, you can seriously damage your game, if not permanently ruin it for good. Is what I would say if that were applicable here, but of all of these glitches, they are safe. Feel free to try these for yourself. Obviously, these are all speedrun viable, so many people can vouch. These will not do any damage to your game. You are safe. For now. Protect yourself online. And give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. It helps me out and it makes me happy. Thank you. And that's why glitches, despite sometimes getting a bad reputation, are so cool. Let's talk about them. Before we actually talk about the glitches, wow, Claire not getting into the main topic and explaining things in crazy detail for those who don't know much about them and also to hype up the video? No way! For the sake of simplicity, we'll be counting bugs as well. But what is a bug? Webster's defines it as something that terrifies a puppy, an unexpected defect, flaw, or imperfection. Yeah, no, I gave you the actual definition. I didn't just give you like the creepy crawler kind of bug that I can make a funny joke because I hate them that much. Just like and subscribe, please. That said, we won't be counting exploits for this video. I need 10 years to talk about half of the exploits that speedrunners use for these games anyway. I'm gonna kill the Webster's joke now and mention that exploits are just methods of progressing through a game that, while playing by the rules of the game, were not developer intended. Watch my video about how funny butts are in Kirby Superstar for an example. That being said, whether you're exploiting a glitch or admiring some mighty fine mini-boss butt, we are talking about speedrunning here. We have to move fast, save time, do crime. How is setting up a glitch gonna be worth it in a speedrun setting? The answer can depend from game to game, of course, even series if you get to the real nitty-gritty. But something nice about Kirby, at least, is that these games are made with very little distractions in mind. Everything you can do can generally be done quickly, intended or not. Just setting up a glitch? It usually doesn't take too long, I don't know, a few seconds at most. Doing the glitch? Basically always fast. You mess it up and want to cry? Well, cry! But also, because setup and execution are both so short, you're good to try again! Yay! Messing up a few times is kind of bad, but not the end of the world and stuff. Not only all of that, but I'd hope this would be obvious, they do need to save time. They can't be too silly or useless, like inhaling the Kabula mint leaf from the other side in Kirby's Dreamland 1, causing Kirby to face left. This is really funny and I like it a lot, but it is slower. Unfortunately for me, I also just outed myself as a puppy liar because while some funny stuff gets tossed to the wayside, I personally think the glitches that do get used are even funnier because they're speedrun viable. You know, usually you either follow the rules or be cool, but having a specific set of circumstances just exist, allowing you to be both, that is really funny to me. And have you ever seen a puppy's laugh? Best thing in the world. But enough about hyping up glitches in speedruns, let's actually talk about them. Whoa! Having a subject to talk about in a YouTube video? This would be crazy innovative if we were in, I don't know, 2004. To start small, we may as well start at the beginning. Kirby's Dreamland is a fun little game with a fun little speedrun, and while there's plenty of tech to talk about, I'm not gonna say the one that you're expecting me to. I know, we all know what it is. Just watch my video here on it, thank you. There is one very notable glitch that is used in the run that I want to talk to you about today. Named after the fact that Kirby runners long thought this could only be done in tasks, the actually fairly easy to pull off in real-time glitch, known as the task spit, occurs when Kirby spits out a star and, while walking, presses down. The sound will play like Kirby swallowed the star, but it'll be spat out instead. The next time you inhale anything that's super close to Kirby, the positioning here is the tricky part, you'll be able to spit it back out really fast, borderline immediately. So what is it useful for, you may ask? Or not, you're willing to let me take this video in whatever wild direction I want to. I appreciate it. But I'll stay on topic as to not disturb your mind. Task Spit is mostly, if not entirely, used on bosses. Day-to-Day is the big one, given he has so much health and so many opportunities for setup. Heck, when he does the Day-to-Day jump, this gives you enough time to inhale both of the stars that drop separately and deal with double the damage. By the standards of KDL 1, you're making Speedy Gonzalez look like regular Gonzalez. As for the other bosses, aside from Kabula, who you defeat with Good Breath, yeah, that's a twist if I've ever seen one, this is applicable and very useful against every other boss fight. And not as much as Day-to-Day per se, but, and stay with me here, let my cute puppy ears help you focus. Ooh. If you have a technique that helps you win faster, it's faster than the normal way of doing things. Wow, so smart, wow! But inhaling fast isn't the only trick that Kirby has up their glitched sleeve. No, on top of inhaling fast to go fast, you can stand still to get the resources that you need to go fast. I feel like I'm making this really confusing. Basically, Kirby Squeak Squad is a game and it's cool, and I've actually talked about this glitch in the past, but I honestly don't remember when I did, so I'll pretend I never have. In Kirby Squeak Squad, you take control of the strongest essence in the galaxy, Kirby's tummy. In it, you can store 5 bubbles to use at any time. These bubbles can contain health, pieces of a 1-up, or, most importantly, copy abilities. Like Wheel, which I'm sure the footage that I captured is nothing but Wheel going crazy, so there is that. That said, as nicely as Wheel and Bubbles go together, there is one problem. You can't literally eat Wheel. And even if you could, seriously, look at how stupid this is. Why would you want to eat it? But you know what's tasty and delicious? Puppy approved? Hammers! In fact, despite what I've been feeding you, Hammer is actually better than Wheel for boss fights, so you're gonna want to use it over Wheel instead. The good news here is that Wheel and Bubble can stay friends, but even if you have Wheel in your stomach, you're gonna run out of them eventually. So yeah, have some fun with Hammer for a boss and then get hit by a sugar low. Is this where our story ends? Oh, what kind of puppy would I be if I bought up sugary sweets and ended things on a soury sad note? Oh, I bought up the sugary sweets in an older draft. Just cut me some slack here. Aside from the very end of the game, when you beat a boss, a treasure chest falls from the sky. If you time it frame perfectly, you can actually use a bubble item inside of Kirby and not lose it. Item duplication, my favorite kind of dupe. Yay! You'll know you timed it right if the bottom screen goes white. Once it comes back, you'll notice that the item that you used is still there. Really useful, considering there is, I don't know, 2 seconds of time save by not using Wheel in this boss fight. I mean, don't quote me on that. I'm just exaggerating. Exaggerating, if you will, because Wheel is insanely good, which, yeah, I know, we already know this, blah, blah, blah. But, okay, enough about strategies that look like they can only be done in a task. Let's talk about something that looks like it can only be done in a task. I don't know. Don't these kind of look cooler anyway? Yeah, I could break down the breakdancing glitch speedrun category, but actually, hold up. That doesn't exist, but it sounds like really cool. Hey, if we can get Hot Dog Percent to be a thing, why the heck can't we get breakdancing? I am counting on you all to help me make this a reality. Don't let me down. Anyway, to distract myself from the crushing reality that breakdancing percent likely won't become a thing, let's talk about Wheelie Scooter. As it stands, this is already an excellent vehicle. A solid speed, insane acceleration with copy abilities, and it jumps like crazy. All you gotta do is jump off a ramp for it to go, whoa! But what if I told you that there is a way to make it go way faster? There's something that involved spinning into a wall. Yep, as I'm sure you can see by the footage, a precise angle and some spinny spins combined with the Wheelie Scooter's wheelie scooterness provide an insane boost of speed. Most of the footage you're gonna see is for Nebula builds. I mean, come on, look at how easy this is. But there are tons of stages with applications for this insanity. Machine Passage is one that sticks out to me, but aside from Magma Flows and Beanstalk Park, the standard all tracks any % for Air Ride is entirely done with the scooter. I should mention, in fairness to the other stars, yes, that's technically what they're called. Kirby is racing on literal stars. It's kind of hardcore and kind of terrifying for whatever organisms are inside of these stars. Other vehicles, such as the wheelie bike and the swerve star, they get a pretty solid boost from this spinny glitch too. They just don't get as crazy of a boost as Wheelie Scooter does because they lack the wheelie scooterness to go this fast. Air ride speedrunners, can that be an air ride term? Wheelie scooterness? That's gonna be my contribution to the speedrun of Kirby Air Ride. But let's tone it down a little and talk about a glitch that most people actually know. It makes sense, it's from the most popular game in the series, Superstar Ultra? Oh, no, it's just Forgotten Land. This game actually has its fair share of glitches, but none of them are easy or realistically going to be encountered without knowing what they are in advance. I mean, yeah, sure, you can randomly fall to the floor in the elevator leading to the final boss, but who's that gonna happen to? Literally, it's happened to one person. I've never seen it recreated outside one single Twitter clip. It's a very funny Twitter clip that I'm not gonna show because spoilers, but it got a big laugh for me. It's a funny glitch, but it doesn't actually save time, so let's move on. The actual glitch in question, however, is just as insane and speedrun viable as all the others. And once I explain that it requires Hammer, I'm sure most of you can figure out that I'm talking about Hammer Super Jump, or HSJ for short. If you don't know, don't worry, I won't laugh, only everyone else around you will. If you float in the air for a while, and once you get tired, stop your float, use Hammer's aerial attack to pound on the ground, and finally, mash the float button as you hit the ground, you will jump insanely high. This technically works with fire and ice as well, but those mini super jumps, they don't find any use in the speedrun. Only the truly hardcore super jumps. You may be wondering, yeah, this is cool, but what speedrunning fun can you pull off with this? There are some crazy things like rare stone grinding and longer skipping that you can do with it. Did I just spoil something that happens after the thing that I said that I wouldn't spoil? I did? Oops. But to keep it simple, let's look at the Battle of Blizzard Bridge. You know, the World 4 mini-boss rush where you fight mini-bosses who are mini-bosses? You may have noticed that, even though I said mini-bosses 3 times for, let's be honest here, no real reason, we haven't fought a single one. That's because we're setting up an HSJ with Tornado. The KFL allows you to inhale objects from very long vertical distances, like very, very long, as a workaround for 3D, you know, not being 2D. Once you get Tornado, if you're high enough, you can use it to get out of the mini-boss spawning sphere and basically skip the whole level. It saves a ton of time and is one of many things that makes HSJ so crazy. For as crazy as HSJ is though, you can do it with one controller, easy peasy. And playing with one controller, that's for people who speedrun with one controller. What if we wanted to get more controllers involved? My friends, my wonderful, wonderful friends, may I guide you to one of my favorite games in the series, Kirby's Return to Dreamland. For me, at least, again, just as far as the main series goes, has the best multiplayer of them all. Well, I think it's the most fun, but who am I to judge whether or not it's actually the best? Wait, I know speedrun stuff! With our usual metric as a judge, yes, this game does have the best multiplayer in the series. Which is really funny because for years, people had just seen multiplayer as a niche way to move through some early game levels faster. Nobody really dove too deeply into it, but once they did, oh boy, did things get wild. I talk about the discovery phase in this video about rubber bands here. Believe it or not, rubber bands are even more important to Return to Dreamland than I am. But to get the actual speedrunning glitches, check out this day-to-day skip in White Wafers, yahoo! And check out this day-to-day skip in Nunny Noon, wow! And check out this day-to-day skip in Dangerous Dinner, yay! And, okay, they're not all day-to-day skips. Yeah, as cool as that would be. You don't even need day-to-day for it. He's just easiest considering he's such a big boy. But I want to focus on these today, especially the Nunny Noon one. And part of the reason why, with oopsingly Nunny Noon being a bit of an exception here, is because of the simplicity of pulling these off. Legitimately, for the White Wafers one, you just use Final Cutter and have day-to-day warp in at the right time. It is really lenient. But the coolest one, like I said before, definitely Nunny Noon, because you managed to avoid 3 whole mini-boss fights. The Meta Knight can keep his fast movement, the Bandanity can keep his cool, long-range Hundo Cheese, and being faster than Meta Knight in Return to Dreamland Deluxe, that just makes me really happy if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. But I will stick with my king and his glitches. If this were a game like Superstar Stacker or Battle Royale, you know how well this would all fit. Don't you lie to me. But what if I told you that Return to Dreamland wasn't the only game with glitched up multiplayer madness? It's true. But what game is so intense, so crazy, and so wild that it would have a multiplayer glitch be a part of its speedrun? Why, only the most hardcore Kirby game of them all. Kirby's Dreamland 3. And the best part, even though we pick on him a lot on this channel, considering he's not very good, this one involves using Rick, so you already know that it's hype. But it can't be that hype unless it's Rick plus Stone, right? That's the Rick roll, come on! I'm 30, you know I love my 2000s memes. Hey, look there, it's Rick plus Stone, that's so awesome! What could make this any better? Oh my god, it's Gooey! The footage will largely be speaking for itself on the applications of this, but to keep the focus on explaining what the heck is going on here and how the heck it actually works, yeah, Rick is so powerful you can clip through ceilings. Trust me, I know all of you Kirby's Adventure Theorem truthers out there, I'd say believers, but we all know it's true, are freaking out, but trust me, we will have our time. For now, an interesting factoid regarding Rick plus Stone in KDL 3 is that if you start to Rickroll and then un-Rickroll while hopping off of Rick at the exact same time, Kirby will get a major vertical boost. Wow! At this point, it should be clear how this Rick skip works. Jump into the ceiling, activate the glitch, and Kirby clips through. But we're not done yet, of course. I told you there would be Gooey, and gosh darn it, there is going to be Gooey. The footage is probably explained enough already. It's kind of hard to make up the sillies and keep up with speedrun footage of all things. But without Gooey, you can't reliably use Rick to clip through the ceiling in later parts of the room. This is really important because without Gooey, you only get the one clip. With one clip, it's actually just faster to use Coup and not worry about the fact that ceilings are actually real. Ugh. But with Gooey able to hop on Rick and follow you around, you get multiple skips and a 1-6, well, half of 1-6, let's accept these miracles however we can get them, that's faster with Rick than it is with Coup. Incredible. Alright, enough of the baby stuff. We're not babies, we're puppies. Which are baby dogs. Whatever! My point is, these glitches have been really funny and really fast. That's good. But have they been insane? Well, kinda. That's kinda how glitches are. But have any of them involved aliens? I didn't think so. Yes, we enter the strongest glitch in all of Kirby's Adventure, one so powerful it has an entire speedrun category morphed around it. My dear viewer, meet the UFO glitch, which also works with Sword and also Parasol too, and Hammer, but I'm calling it the UFO glitch. While there are easier variants to making this work, and trust me, this puppy loves when things are easy, we're going to assume that you're being super optimal and super cool. Yin and yang, you get me. To start with, we need to get UFO, and the fastest way to get UFO is by mixing. I have a whole video about mixing, watch that one because it's pretty cool actually, but inhaling 2 or more enemies with abilities brings up a roulette that gives you a not random ability. Depending on what you inhale, the timing is different, but you can get UFO this way regardless of what enemies you inhale. From here, we have UFO, but we could do even better. We can get normal Kirby! How, you ask? Well, it's easy, just... shoot, I messed it up, sorry, let me just, shoot! I goofed up again, don't worry, Puppy's got it this time. No, I don't, but I'm a stubborn pup, I got this, I can do this, I can do this! Alright, there we go. See, if you hit an enemy on the exact frame you drop your ability, the game just kind of doesn't know what to do. Visually it does, since you've got normal Kirby clearly, but as far as the code of Kirby is concerned, you still have your original ability, UFO in this case. Fun fact, even though you have UFO, you can get hit, exit levels, basically do whatever you want, except manually drop it and not lose it. Frankly, more people should play the game like this. It seriously rocks. UFO's only weakness at this point is that it is stopped dead in its tracks by ladders. Literally, there is nothing that I can do right here except to get rid of UFO. This is so sad. Can I get a Claire Fluffle is the cutest puppy and I will head pat her? Also F in the chat, please. Or the comments, I'm not picky. Anyway, while UFO doesn't have a way around ladders, it does have a way around walls. Because remember, as per the Kirby's Adventure Theorem, walls don't exist. Simply pause the game on the exact frame an enemy spawns and, well, you can see the rest. It's all history from here. It doesn't even really require a UFO, but sure is a funny glitch right there. Kirby's Adventure has more glitches than just these, but I've gone long enough in this video without mentioning the absolute king of speedrun glitches. Kirby's Adventure may have 1 or 2 categories based around glitches, but this game not only does it have more, it also has more glitched fun to be had. Are we even allowed to have this much fun? Of course, it's expected to have this much fun when you play, drum roll, I'm not sure if my microphone is actually picking up, I kind of hope it is, otherwise it's just a little awkward, Kirby Superstar! I love this game, all of the crazy innovations and the different modes, and bosses having weak butts, which again, tragically, it's not a glitch, but when am I not going to bring it up? Or clipping through walls. I told you, they don't exist! Alright, so you remember how in Kirby's Adventure these were easy to describe? Well, grab a snack and get comfy with the puppy because here we go. So to do the skip and Dynablade, you need 1 of 2 abilities. 1 is Jet, 1 is Irrelevant. Ayo! There are a bunch of different setups that you can do to get this to work, but I like breaking these blocks and making a helper. Shoutouts to Capsule J1, You're the GOAT, and super jumping off of 1 of them. Once you're high enough, stop floating and let the helper grab onto you. Align Kirby's noggin with this ladder accessory block thingy here, and maybe actually be a little lower, and while holding the float button and not mashing it like a crazy pup, move forward. When you get to the near the wall, do some shlick movement and flick the D-pad to turn Kirby around. You should slide into the wall. If you drop your helper and jump a bunch from here, boom, you're in the wall. Not only is this so cool that it wound up being what I based the thumbnail off of, it also skips an entire auto-scrolling section. One that is technically possible for robots, but not for people and puppies, both in my case, and its remake, the best game ever made, Kirby Superstar Ultra. But here, the pshaw, save an easy and free 45 seconds off of your playtime. And by easy and free, I mean extremely tough and I don't know, however much money it costs you to play KSS. If it was $0, then it's an extremely tough and free. I'm not backing down on it being hard, so this is the best compromise you're gonna get, okay? But hey, check it out though. That's not all we're gonna be talking about today. Whoa! Did you know that walls don't exist even when you can't see them? For a much simpler to explain and still pretty hard speedrun trick, you can actually clip through the wall in the first auto-scroller of Romka. Romka being Revenge of Mennonite. Sorry, it's so satisfying saying Romka. Try it, Romka. Anyway, disobeying walls doesn't save much time. Apparently it saves a little time though. I don't know how much or how it even does it, but I've been told that it does, so I'm just here to spread the information. Also, it looks really cool! Yay! Romka also has a really silly skip during the very beginning where, if you mix for Crash and bring it all the way to Heavy Lobster, you skip the fight. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to understand KSS. I just spread the good word of it. And you know what? After talking glitches in Kirby Superstar, there's no topping that. We're just good to end things here. The glitches are funny, speedrunning is funny, Kirby is funny. You put the three of them in a room, they're gonna make you laugh. You put them in a video where a puppy girl tells you about how cool they are. Well, I sure hope it's funny. If you enjoyed the video, found it funny, anything like that, again, please consider subscribing, and if you want to go the extra mile, support me on Patreon as a pup train or as a mempup on YouTube. You get nifty perks, including 2-day early access to all videos. Special thanks to my head-patting Fluffle Fan, Pup Trains and Mempups, Freakish Uproar, Lydia Scribe, Chris, and Nightfall. I love you all. All of you don't glitch me. Oh, I was supposed to say bug me. Like bugs, cause they're glitches, but I said glitches to bug. I messed up the outro to the video.